It is now my great honor to confer the Bicentennial Medals for 2022. These recipients were chosen with guidance by the Executive Committee of the Society of Alumni, and assisting me with the conferral will be the Society President, Brent Shea, class of 1978. I begin with Elizabeth Libby Homan, class of 1980. The early days of the COVID-19 pandemic were terrifying. Confirmed U.S. COVID deaths grew from 8 total in early March 2020 to more than 1,000 every single day just 1 month later. 3 weeks after that, the death toll was often 2,000 a day or more. We knew very little about the SARS-CoV-2 virus. There was as yet no vaccine, and there were no tested, approved antiviral medicines to treat desperately ill patients in overwhelmed hospitals and ICUs. But the cavalry was coming, and your research was critical to the change. You were principal investigator at the Massachusetts General Hospital site of an international clinic trial of remdesivir, a broad-spectrum antiviral drug. Preliminary results announced by the NIH that terrifying April offered a glimmer of hope. The drug significantly reduced deaths due to an advanced COVID-19. It significantly speeded the recovery of patients who lived. The drug quickly received emergency use authorization and eventually was the first COVID treatment to receive full FDA approval. Your leadership during the pandemic was typical of a career of service at Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School. Your research focuses on gastrointestinal infection and the intestinal microbiome. You've conducted important studies on salmonella, listeria, and vaccine development. You have helped keep research safe, heading the institutional review boards that oversee studies at the Mass General Brigham Health System. In recognition of your distinguished achievement in medicine, Williams College is proud to honor you with its Bicentennial Medal. Thank you. Adina Testa Friedman, class of 1991. You are, in your words, a true believer in capitalism. Well, no surprise there. You're CEO at NASDAQ, one of the world's most important market-making and financial technology companies. You see capitalism as a system for efficiently unlocking potential, for empowering the individual, and for building a better society. But belief does not blind you to imperfection as well, to gaps between the theory of capitalism and its reality. You have made it your business and NASDAQ's to close some of those gaps. You and NASDAQ's focus on systems that expand transparency and promote integrity. Your mission includes combating financial crime. It also includes a groundbreaking initiative to promote diversity on corporate boards. You prioritize fairness and equality of opportunity. You look to give a leg up to those with ideas that should be businesses. You rose in 24 years from a NASDAQ internship to become one of the most influential women in finance worldwide. You lead the continuing transformation of NASDAQ into a global markets operator and a powerhouse provider of a wide range of market-related technologies. Along the way, you've been an ardent advocate for women in finance. You promote a collaborative corporate culture, but perhaps not incidentally for someone who sometimes has to go back to the mat on Wall Street, you also have earned a black belt in Taekwondo. In recognition of your distinguished achievement in business and finance, Williams College is proud to honor you with its Bicentennial Medal. Pamela Council, class of 2007. Imagine a place of peace and protection in a time of trauma. Deep within it, a serene, colorful, multi-tiered fountain, wrapped by pink and magenta clouds, sheltered by silk. This sanctuary is shielded from the everyday, closed off from the noisy and the noisome by an 18-foot protective cocoon. That shell consists of hundreds of thousands of, yes, brightly painted artificial nails. Actually, we don't have to imagine it. You built it. You dropped this quiet oasis fashioned from wildly colorful acrylic in shapes from toenails to talons into one of the busiest districts in one of the busiest cities of the world. You called it a fountain for survivors. Countless survivors of the pandemic, of social upheaval, of personal ordeals experienced it last fall in New York's Times Square. This piece, the latest in the series of works you call Fountains of Black Joy, was your contribution to their healing process. It is just one of many important commissions and public presentations of your much admired art. Your oeuvre combines the disciplines of sculpture, architecture, writing, and performance. It springs from a fantastic imagination grounded in the truth of what you see and the reality of what people experience. Why this art? Why now? Your answer to the New York Times said it all. We build monuments to winning wars and tragedies, but I need a monument to maintaining, you said. For some people, that is monumental. In recognition of your distinguished achievement in the arts, Williams College is proud to honor you with its Bicentennial Medal. Catherine Krieg Fisher, class of 2008, and Anouk Day, class of 2009. The obstacles could have paralyzed you. You were here. The problem was there. You were young, just college students. The problem had roots centuries old. There were just two of you. Hundreds of thousands needed help. None of that stopped you. Deeply concerned for Iraqi refugees fleeing to Jordan, you sought to help. Conversations with a professor refined your thinking. Focus on those whose futures were particularly bleak. Bring to the problem not only your knowledge and skills, but also your experience as athletes. The idea you landed on, a summer sports camp for at-risk girls. It was a massive project, but you pulled it off. And that might have been that. You might have moved on with your lives, focusing on what became successful investing careers. But that was not that. Recognizing that the immense problem was only growing, you transformed your one-off summer initiative into a permanent, year-round program. You raised money, and you created a not-for-profit. Today, Reclaim Childhood serves Iraqi girls, refugees from elsewhere, and at-risk Jordanians. It teaches not only soccer, basketball, and skateboarding, but also leadership. It trains women to coach girls, building a sustainable female athletics community in a place where women have been historically unable even to access fields or gyms. You grew Reclaim Childhood into a thriving, admired NGO that challenges assumptions about what girls can or should do. Though you wisely built it to stand on its own with professional staff and deep local connections, there has always been plenty of purple among its directors, funders, and volunteers. There is purple also among its summer interns, including in the class that sits before us today. In recognition of your distinguished achievement as humanitarians, Williams College is proud to honor you both with its Bicentennial Medal. Lena M. Kahn, class of 2010. When you edited the Williams record, your job was to report the news. Now, as chair of the Federal Trade Commission, you're making headlines, not writing them. Under your leadership, the FTC accused Facebook of pursuing an illegal buy or bury strategy to thwart competition. It stopped a $4.4 billion Lockheed Martin deal to buy a rocket engine company. It blocked a $4 billion acquisition in the computer industry. And just last month, you launched an FTC process to rein in unfair and deceptive use of consumers' personal data. You tweeted then that the depth of the intelligence that businesses collect on us is stunning. And that's only the beginning. You said recently that we should expect more big FTC lawsuits. You compared the Commission's work today to the 20th century crusade to break the railroad stranglehold on the U.S. economy. You first came to national prominence 5 years ago, while still a law student. You published a highly influential Yale Law Journal article provocatively titled Amazon's Antitrust Paradox. In it, you challenged conventional wisdom on what antitrust enforcement should aim to do. President Biden appointed you to the FTC at 32, making you the youngest chair ever. Now, only a little over a year into your tenure, you've demonstrated already that you are principled, savvy, and determined. In short, a force to be reckoned with. In recognition of your distinguished achievement in law and government, Williams College is proud to honor you with its Bicentennial Medal. I hope as you begin the beginning of your senior year, you find some of these stories inspiring to you on your journeys as you head out. I do want to note one thing. You might have noticed that all the medalists this year are women, and this is the year that we're celebrating 50 years of women at the college, and we mark the anniversary of that particular change in a long history of diversifying the college in many different ways with many kinds of people. But for today, we recognize that moment in transition. So can we all give them all a big round of applause?